Welcome to Relocating to Disney. Here we are in a typical Western New York afternoon, and I wanted to show you some things on my whiteboard, but I think I purged my whiteboard because I can't find it anywhere. So just the craziness of what's going on right now. So instead I drew on some paper. Now typically what you would do, and we talked about this a little bit before, is you would sell your house, right? And then the equity from selling the house goes to your down payment. And then you've got some savings built up, and that savings pays for your move. In our case, we've got various savings accounts to pay for furniture and for the moving trucks and for all the different various expenses that come along. And that's typically how you would do a move to Florida. Well, we decided to take a slightly different approach, and we bought the house in Florida before the house in New York sold, right? So that meant that the savings for the moving went to the down payment, plus we took a loan from the retirement accounts to cover the closing costs. And now the costs of moving are going to the credit cards. There's no place else for it to go. Now that's a short-term issue, because as soon as the house sells, we'll have the cash to pay that off. And that's why when we look at something like flooring, 0%, even for 6 months, although the 0% we got was for 18 months, 0% for 6 months is exactly what we need, because we just need to bridge the time until the house sells, and then we can pay all that off. We're going to get more than enough equity out of this house to pay for everything, so that's not even a concern. There was one expense that was unexpected to some degree. All right, cigarette smell. The previous owners of the house were cigarette smokers, and therefore the house has a cigarette smell. It has a cigarette odor. Now the previous owner would smoke cigarettes outside in the garage. Thankfully, the garage smells horrible. And any of the contractors, anybody that we've had come visit us, they're like, ew, man, this is really bad out here. And some, they can't even stay in the garage for very long. That's how bad it is out there. So thankfully, he only smoked out in the garage. The downside is the air conditioner pulls in air. The air conditioner is located in a room just off the garage. So the air conditioner is pulling in that garage odor and blowing it throughout the entire house. Now the rest of the house doesn't smell anywhere near as bad as the garage, but it is there. And it just baffles me that, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 years ago, this was a common smell. The smell of cigarettes was everywhere, and you just didn't even think of it. Maybe people were just desensitized to it back then, but holy moly, does it stink. It smells really bad. And at some point, I will cover all the costs that we have gone into an attempt to remove the cigarette smell from the house. But it has been about $11,000. And that cost does include cleaning out all the vents, all the ductwork, cleaning out the air conditioning, the coils, the furnace, all that stuff, repainting some areas with like an odor blocker, a shellac and an odor blocker to capture a lot of that smell, doing ozone throughout the house, replacing carpets and soft materials throughout the house that picked up the odor, and just on and on and on. It has been an enormous expense. Now, looking back at it, if I knew how expensive it was, I still would have bought this house. I would have just known in advance that it was going to cost this much to do the cleanup. But at the time when we went through the house, I smelled the cigarette smoke, and I said, yeah, that's pretty bad. We'll just have to air the house out. No, you can't just air out cigarette smell. You have to do a lot more, and it's fairly expensive. So that's where we are from a finance point of view. We're just, putting the things that we had saved money for, we're having to put that on the credit cards and put it on 0% financing until the house sells so we can then pay for it. I have this lawn scheduled to be mowed on Friday. I hope that lawnmower has a snowblower attachment. We want to get this house on the market in 2 or 3 weeks. And I want to give you just a quick walkthrough to show you where we're at. And you can see that we've got a little bit of panic that's starting to set in here. This is a garage. You've seen it multiple times. And some of this stuff will be going with us. Some of this stuff it needs to be sold and gotten out of here. What we need to do is clean this whole garage out so that we can get the rummage and yard sale stuff and the marketplace stuff into the garage. When we list the place, it's okay if the garage is filled with stuff, but it needs to be the correct stuff. Right now, all the yard sale and rummage sale stuff is scattered in different rooms around the house, and it needs to get out of there and get out here. Now, the first rummage sale is, that's coming up. It's less than a month away that we're going to have the first sale. So we got to get this garage cleaned out and ready for that sale. Let's take a walk inside. You can see what it's like, our progress is indoors. This is what we always call the in-law side. It's the in-law apartment. You can see painting is underway. The painter returns in a couple of days. Flooring is coming in on May 1st. There's still a few items in here, like this couch is out there on Marketplace for sale. And then in each one of the rooms, there's either rummage sale stuff or there is marketplace stuff, but it's all stuff that's waiting to be sold to get out of here. And then this area is going to be in pretty good shape. That fridge is going to be going to Florida with us. But as soon as we get the garage cleaned out, we're going to move it into the garage so that it's out of here. Okay, now we're here in the living room, and the living room walls have been painted, and you can see there's a bunch of furniture still in here. Some of this is going with us. The treadmill's going with us. The couches are not going with us. They'll be thrown away. There's a desk back there that's going with us. But mostly the items in here are going to be used to stage the house for when we sell. Now, when we painted this room, we had to take all the stuff that's here and shove it into other rooms. So if we were to look at the dining room over there, you would see that it's just filled with furniture and everything else. We've got to keep purging through that room, whittling it down. Some of that stuff is staying, some of it's being sold. It depends on what's going on. Also, if it didn't get sent to the dining room, it got sent out here to the kitchen. So now the whole house is just is a disruption as we've got to get everything taken care of. Now let's take a look upstairs. You can see what we have to do up there. The only thing that's been painted up on the second floor is the bathrooms and the hallway. The next up is going to be the bedrooms. So we've got, a lot of work getting these bedrooms ready. I think the bedrooms are going to get painted this weekend, if I understand the painter's schedule correctly. So the boys are, going through their stuff, packing it as quick as they can. And when you purge and you're going through stuff, it makes a bigger mess than when you started. And you just have to see the light at the end of the tunnel and know eventually it's all going to come together. Here's another bedroom. Again, purging that, getting it ready. Over here's my office. Now, as my office isn't getting painted. So what that means is everything from all throughout the second floor comes up to my office. So things are piled in here, and we have to go through this. And see, once you clean out a room, it's really difficult not then to move that stuff back, because what you want to do instead is make the decisions about it and get rid of it. You don't want to move it back and then make the decisions. So a lot of work here on the second floor that needs to get done. Now let's go down and look at that basement. Now we're in the basement. We're going to start off here in the gym. The floor is done. This room is pretty much finished. I've got to bring some stuff back in here. But what's going to happen now is, because this room is finished, everything else from all over the basement is going to start coming in here. In fact, the gym is probably going to be the place where we store a lot of the packing materials. Now you'll see we've got box storage in a different location, but things like packing tape, wrapping paper, all the markers, all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff, more than what you can imagine, is going to be moved back into here. Now, if we come across this one, okay, this is the toy room, game room, man cave, whatever you want to call it. It's also the staging area for Marketplace. All of the stuff got from around the gym got moved into here in addition. So we've got our pandemic supply of toilet paper and paper towels, of course, but also all the packing materials and things that we have to work on around the house. It is part of the packing material stuff, I suppose. So we've got, bring this up here. We got like some light bulbs that have to be changed around the house, some shower curtains that have to be changed. There's light switches. There's all kinds of stuff. Paint. It's all here. In addition to all the stuff that we are taking pictures of so we can get it on Marketplace and get it out of here. So this place is a lot of work if we're going to have this house on the market in 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going over here. This used to be my downstairs office. My youngest son has taken this over as his workshop. Now this room isn't too bad, other than he's got a lot of his stuff that he's got to, either throw away, and he's already started making decisions about what's getting thrown away, or to finish tubbing it up, close the tubs, and stack them in the corner. There's some pictures in here that have to be packed away, but for the most part, this room isn't too bad. Next to the office is the storeroom. Now, I've got 90% of my stuff out of the storeroom. Just a few small items remain. That rack's on Marketplace. There's a cupboard there. There's one behind me. Those are going to be sold. The rest of the stuff is all my son's, and he's got to make decisions about what's happening with it. I know the wood is going to get donated, and he's got to decide on some of this other stuff so we can get it moving and get it out of here. All right, let's go take a look at Tub City. If you've watched previous videos, you know all about Tub City, but it's our storage area down in the basement. And what in its day, it had several streets, and it was lined with totes. The totes are all numbered and inventoried. So if we were going camping, we could just go grab the camping totes. If it was Christmas, we would go grab the Christmas totes, and it'd have all the decorations. So it was all well organized and perfect. But it was 250 totes, categorized and inventoried for our life. And now you take that perfect organization and just throw it up in the air and see where it lands. And that's where, you can imagine, that's where we are now. What a mess, just trying to get through this all. Now over here is the mats left over from the gym floor that we redid. Those are out there for sale. Hoping somebody buys them soon. The bike is going back. Where's the bike? Here, right there. There's the bike. Bike's going back to the gym. And then Tub City right here. A lot of this stuff on this street is probably going with us. We got some Easter decorations here. And then we've got boxes for packing our stuff. So when as we're packing up our stuff, we'll have plenty of boxes. That was a big problem when we moved the InLaw. And when we moved the InLaw and we moved the first truckload down to Florida, we found out we didn't have enough boxes. We were saving up Amazon and shipping boxes, which was nice, but a lot of those are tiny and they don't hold very much. And they were the wrong size boxes. We needed bigger boxes. So this time around, we're trying to collect up some bigger boxes. We have these copier boxes here. They tend to work out pretty good. They're strong, they're sturdy, and they're pretty nice. But a whole bunch of little boxes is kind of tough to pack with. Big boxes for picture frames, things like that. Okay, so let's continue. We're now in the marketplace section. Now, most of this stuff is out there on marketplace right now. Some of it is waiting. See, a lot of the groups only let you put like 5 items out per day. And so that means you have to get in the regular habit of doing huge photo shoots and then bleeding it out throughout the week to get rid of it. And if it doesn't sell, then it goes off to the yard sale. Now, sometimes I put more than 5 items out there a day, and I usually get kicked out of groups. I just got kicked out of a group this past weekend because I put 7 items out in one day. Oh well. So that's what we're looking at here is lots of marketplace stuff and a lot of stuff that's waiting for marketplace. And as we continue around, we got things that are waiting for marketplace. Now, this used to be one of the photo places I would set up to take pictures when I wasn't taking pictures over in the game room. Some of these tubs are filled with packing materials because they go with this shelf, and this is where our box organization is for boxes that we're going to use. Unfortunately, these are all of the small boxes that I was talking about. Yeah, you still need some small boxes sometimes, but you need big boxes too. So that's why the big boxes are over there when we come into Tub City, and the smaller boxes are all organized here. And then, like I said, we got bubble wrap and grocery paper bags and all kinds of stuff in here. And then that's a little bit different than packing tape and some of the other things that are over in the gym. So, huge operation here, probably a little bit larger than it needs to be. One area I suppose that's left is the wood shop. So let's head over there. Oh yeah, these shelves kind of separate Tub City from the workshop. And lots of liquor, which we're not going to have time to drink all of that. Maybe we need to drink all of that. I don't know. But all this stuff here, for the most part, is going up for sale. And we got, paint from the house. Some people, when they sell the house, they leave you the paint. I don't think we're going to be doing that. This paint is old. So this is, once upon a time, this was my awesome workshop, my awesome wood shop, saws and tools and all this other stuff. And then we had this crazy idea, hey, let's move to Florida. And through purging, we have to have a place to set the rummage sale stuff. So my workshop became the rummage sale storage area. And like I said, we need to get the garage cleaned out. We need to get the rummage sale stuff out to the garage. We need to get the stuff that's up in the InLaw for rummage out to the garage. All the stuff scattered around that I said it's either selling or waiting to be sold or whatever needs to get out to the garage, because our yard sale is in less than a month. The first one, and then there's a second one in June where we're just going to unload everything and just get rid of whatever's left. So that's the tour of the house. 2 or 3 weeks, get this puppy ready to be listed. A lot of work here. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.